Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Gag Economy podcast.
Welcome to Gag Economy.
Yes. And sorry, the intro is not the same on YouTube. My computer's lost. No. It is in limbo.
Your computer is waiting to be discovered.
My computer is playing hide and seek.
Your computer is doing something of its own accord in an undisclosed location.
Yes, my computer was sick of me not transferring my files, keeping a messy desktop, downloading things I shouldn't be downloading.
Oh, why not stream?
I streamed things as well. I streamed and downloaded and streamed on top of that. Yes. But we are here. And that is why we are so delinquent on an episode.
There is one in the tank.
There's one in the tank that's in the computer that walked away from us.
That one will be released at an undisclosed time.
Yeah, it will be undisclosed.
Why is your computer somewhere else?
My computer is somewhere else because I'm moving. I moved.
Oof.
I moved from Greenpoint to another neighborhood.
Undisclosed.
Yeah, but what I will disclose is that I don't need all the crap that I had. Except for my computer.
Where is it?
I don't know. I literally can just wear this same exact pants every day and no one cares.
I know. Ugh. I think about that all the time.
I think about it all the time, but wearing new pants brings me joy.
Yeah, you do love new pants.
I love new pants. I love new shirts. I love trying things on. Mm-hmm. I love hanging things on hangers and staring at them.
It's crazy that you love new stuff and we all love new stuff so much because mostly we just do old stuff.
Mostly we just wear the same things over and over again.
Or it's just like sweat stuff.
Or it's sweats.
It's clothes for painting.
Yeah.
Or new pants.
My closet is that of a debutante who goes to balls every day, every weekend.
My closet is that of a workman.
Yes, you're a workman?
Yeah.
A workman.
Yeah. My closet is that of someone that wants to like blend into a crowd.
Nice. Do you wear boxers or briefs, workman?
Boxer brief.
Or do you wear thongs? You wear man thongs.
Mong.
You wear cups.
I cover up all my parts with cups.
Really good. Yeah. Welcome to Gag Economy podcast.
This is the podcast where we talk about gigs and gags in New York City and beyond, and mosely musician gigs.
Yeah. We talk about what makes it a gig, what makes it a gag, and we give you some advice on how to behave in case you are looking for something, in case you are looking for some tips and tricks of the trade.
It's 50% Dear Abby, 50% This American Life, 40% car talk, 30% economics podcast.
100%. What's that guy? That weird guy?
Is it politics?
No.
Huberman.
Andrew Huberman, yeah.
Yeah, he is a weird guy.
Yeah. He was talking a lot about serotonin. Apparently, when you eat cheese, you get serotonin.
He
spikes.
loves to say stuff like that.
I'm just like,
he
dude.
loves that.
Relax.
You know what?
What?
I love hearing it.
Howard Stern, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
100% Howard Stern. Can I be Howard?
Yeah, I'm the lady
You're the black
assistant.
lady.
Robin. I'm Robin.
Okay, but you can be Robin next time.
I don't want to be Howard this time. I want to be Robin now.
You want to be Robin forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't get to switch.
Oh, okay. I'll be Howard and the guest, and I'll do like switching, like, hey, how
And
are you
I'm just Robin?
Yeah.
You get to be two celebrities?
I'll do psychodrama, and you can just be there.
Honestly, that sounds right.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your moving experience.
Yo, it has been crazy. Our friend whose house we're moving into was like, yeah, like the apartment's going to be ready in March. And then we're like, okay, so then I guess I'll keep the lease until July. And then he's like, oh no, okay, cool. I mean, it'll be ready in May, like if you want to move in by May. And we're like, oh no, we'll still keep the lease until July. And it's July and the apartment's not ready.
How not ready is it?
There's holes in ceilings, walls, and floors.
How many days are left in this month?
I can't, oh, you want me to count days?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Do they work on Saturday, Sunday?
No, they were gone for
That's
the whole
crazy.
weekend. Yeah.
We work every day.
We work every day. Why can't construction people work every day?
So they have 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's supposed to be done on the 17th. That's
19 days. Do you think they can get all those holes patched in 19 days?
it depends on the type of worker you get. If it were us two, we could get it fixed in no time.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Man, we would
Hire us.
We would patch every hole.
We would patch the holes. We would decorate the place.
Paint.
We would install self-cleaning appliances.
Mm-hmm.
We would get little house elves to live in the basement.
It would be clean.
Yeah.
The lines would be straight where it mattered.
Yeah. Crooked where it also matters. So, yeah, I mean, listen. I'm chilling. I'm going to relax through this. This is a test. July is crazy. July 2025, nutso month.
I think you're going to pass the test.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be ready in time. It's going to be ready in time.
We're in limbo. We're, at friends' houses, hotels. We were at William Vale. That was fun.
How did you feel about being at William Vale almost a year to the day after you were at William Vale last year for your D word where you stole the
Shampoo.
shampoo
Here's
products?
what I do at William Vale.
Okay.
I burst in through the door. I look around. I make sure everything's clean. Okay? Because if it's not clean, I'm calling the front desk. I'm saying I'm not stepping foot in this establishment again if this fingerprint is still here.
You wear white gloves.
I wear white gloves.
You start swiping everything.
I immediately get on TikTok and I go to hotel room TikTok to make sure no one's scamming me and no one's spying on me. Then
Big list.
here's what I do. I take all the covers off. I put on all my covers.
You do?
I take off all the dumb artwork and I turn it around and turn it upside down. I switch all the artwork around because they don't know how to feng shui anything.
You redecorate.
I redecorate. Then I get my ass into the I get my ass into the bathroom and I squirt all of their Le Labo into my own containers. Because they have a steel-proof Le Labo dispenser. All you can do is just stand there in the shower and squirt the Le Labo into your own dispenser and into your own container.
Probably took you a long time to squirt.
Yeah.
There are two types of people in the world.
Yeah.
People who steal hotel room products and people who don't. People who unpack when they arrive in a hotel and people who don't. People who bring their own art and sculptures and hang them up and people who don't.
People who throw towels on the ground and ask for more towels, but then also do not disturb sign.
And people who don't. Mm-hmm. People who call downstairs and ask for an alarm clock in the morning and then ignore the alarm clock phone call and then scream at the person that called them and say, never call here again. And people who don't.
Exactly. People who go down to the reception area and said, I never paid for this, and argue with their receipt and their invoice, and people who don't.
People who squat in the hotel room and won't leave until they're evicted and somehow skip out on their bill, like Anna Delvey, and people who don't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have you ever stayed in one of those hotels that has doors on the outside?
What? Doors on the outside? Of what?
Like a motel?
Oh, yeah. Motels are scary.
Have you ever done a gig that put you up at doors on the outside?
Yep.
Me too.
Listen, doors on the outside sometimes can be nice. Sometimes if you're in the Hamptons, you can have nice doors on the outside.
Depends on the city.
Yeah. Sometimes if you're in Southern California, you can have doors on the outside. Doors on the outside is nice when it's in a beachy zone. Doors on the outside is bad if you're in like Arkansas or Texas.
Here's an edge case, a cusp case.
Yeah.
Daytona, Florida.
Whoa.
Doors on the outside are okay or not okay?
When I hear Daytona, I think murder. I think trafficking. Mm-hmm. I think cocaine rings. I don't think race cars, even though I should. Mm-mm. Immediately goes to something else. Mm-hmm. Not what it's known for.
Do you think that you are done with doors on the outside gigs, or do you think there's room in your life still for doors on the outside gigs?
Depends. Depends on the location. Mm-hmm. Never say never. Mm-hmm. You know, as gig workers, it's up and down. Mm-hmm. Up and down. Sometimes we're riding high. Mm-hmm. I watched a really beautiful little clip of Lauryn Hill talking about that. Up and down. It's learning, mastery. Learning, mastery. Learning, mastery. If at any point in time, during my learning time, I need to do doors on the outside, I will do doors on the outside. Should it lead to mastery?
Incredible perspective.
Thank you.
Really, really good stuff.
I will say, though, the learning of not having your apartment ready is really funny. I'm learning about these different neighborhoods. I'm learning which spots to avoid.
Do you want to tell me about your new neighborhood?
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, I'm right on a train. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of little spots, a lot of little neighborhood spots. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about my contemporaries.
Your neighbors.
Yeah, they're kind of like... They're like my contemporaries of my age, which is the youngest people of all time.
So you live in a kindergarten or a daycare baby school?
Basically. I mean, yeah. So I went to this coffee shop, Prima, and straight up, the baristas wouldn't look you in the eyes. And they were covered in tattoos, piercings everywhere. I'm like, hey, may I... hello. and then Taylor ordered something, and the barista straight up went, "That's crazy."
What was it?
It was a cold brew with a cold brew red eye.
That's not crazy.
It's normal.
That's everyday drink.
Yeah. And she's like, sorry, I didn't mean to call you crazy. I was like,
you did.
You just did. And where are you looking now? You're like turned around now.
Here's a crazy drink order.
Yeah, go.
Oat milk latte with an added shot of cow's milk.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's a nonsense order.
Yeah. Half calf, full calf, matcha, oat milk, non-dairy, plus creamer, plus one shot of dirty chai.
That's crazy.
Iced in your own, what do you call it? What are those mugs that everyone likes?
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup. That's insane.
That's crazy. Cold brew red eye, but have everyone that works here spit into my cup. That's crazy.
That's crazy, but they would love to do that. Straight up, I was taking a walk. I tried to go to the food co-op. Turns out you have to be a member at the specific co-op. And I was like, that's insane. When I was a member at Bushwick Food Co-op, non-members could shop there. So I was like, all right, this is a bust. Then I had to turned my ass around. I walked by Atlantic Ave Barclays Center, one of the worst places in all of the city.
Oh, it's a war zone. I don't say that facetiously. There's
No.
a war happening there, a spiritual war.
It's spiritual war. You've got the sports crowd at Barclays. You've got the people traveling from Long Island because of the Long Island Expressway. Plus the intersection of worlds of gentrifiers and others. Yeah.
There are certain pockets like that are just godless in this city.
Yeah.
And you know you're in one because, number one, it's really hard to leave.
Yeah.
You get stuck there in a whirlpool.
Stuck.
And then you also know because you will pay $100 to leave it. You just will open your Uber app and be like, whatever the price is, get me out.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that exact same thing because I didn't take the right train, or the train that I was taking was rerouted, even though it's like, how could it possibly be rerouted? Atlantic Ave should be like the center of trains in Brooklyn, but it's not. And I tried to take a bus. Bus was at terminal, scheduled to come to my stop in 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll call an Uber to go 2 miles.
Yeah.
It was insane. So, and then before that, I was passing by a lady who was wearing a very skimpy summer outfit. Bent over, this lady, all of a sudden. Full on could see her front butt flaps, all flaps.
Front butt flaps out.
You know what I did? I went like this. I ducked my head so I could see it.
You leaned down to the side.
I leaned down to the side because I was like, flaps? Whoa. Flaps.
Flaps in the world.
Because I was like, I've never seen flaps like that in the world just open. Then she gets back up and her tit falls out of her bikini top. So her top flaps fall out. And I was like, this lady is not of sound mind. But I sure did get a good show. So what does that make me feel like? Sometimes we put on great shows. Maybe we're not of sound mind.
That's so true. You don't have to be of sound mind to put on a great show.
No, absolutely not.
We recently have been encountering someone we work with who is notoriously not of sound mind.
Not of sound mind.
Putting on a great show.
Incredible shows.
For us.
For us. By us. FUBU.
FUBU.
He puts on FUBU shows.
Here are the flaps I like to see in the wild.
Go.
For women, it's best if it's front flaps of any kind. Stomach folds, the flaps that go over your knee.
Yeah.
Maybe a flap that's like an ankle flap. For men, it's really best if it's back flaps.
I want to see men's back flaps.
So seeing, an elongated ass crack flap in the wild, always a thrill.
I'm always, when I see friends and acquaintances cracks, I'm like, okay. I feel like I find out more about them. If you have like a particularly high up crack, it's a totally different vibe than somebody with a low crack.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
I'd say mine is kind of middle crack. I think yours is middle too.
I think it's regular crack, but I do have to say, the other day,
Did you see someone's crack?
Well, I have a spy camera in my apartment to watch my dog.
Yeah.
And I had gotten home from a gig late at night, do what I always do, which is immediately take my pants off and lay on my couch and do screen time.
Yeah.
With a snack. And so then I, out of habit, opened my dog camera.
Yeah.
And what I saw was my crack. And then I spent a long time doing what we're talking about, which is figuring out if it was a low or medium or high crack.
Damn. Did you look up all the different cracks of the world to compare cracks?
Yes.
So for all you just tuning in, we're talking about flaps and cracks.
Okay,
and
so
flaps are parts of your body that are skin. We initially started talking about female flaps, front flaps.
Front flaps. Front flaps don't get it twisted. Don't get your flaps twisted. Don't be thinking we're talking about a specific flap.
No.
Flaps can be where you least expect them. Sometimes you can see a neck flap.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see an armpit flap when you least expected it. Mm-hmm. Honestly, sometimes there's like an elbow flap.
Sometimes people have flaps on their face. Yeah. Sometimes their face is just one flap. But when we first started talking about this, I was talking about front butt flaps.
Where you're living.
Front butt is a term that you coined, which means vagina and penis.
Sometimes the top of your front butt is also important.
A fupa.
Like a fupa.
Okay. But when I was at Atlantic Ave, I fully saw this lady's vagina flaps.
Front butt flaps.
And her tits flaps.
That's top flaps.
Yeah.
Front butt flaps and top flaps.
Yeah. She put on a flaps show. Mm-hmm. She was flapping.
Yeah. So just to bring it all together.
Yeah.
What you're describing is universal, even though it's specific to this location, because it's the feeling of being disoriented when you move.
Exactly.
That's a universal feeling, okay?
Yeah. And there were children around these flaps. there were all ages around taking part in viewing these flaps.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one seeing and looking down. And,
did you hear about the new train that's happening?
oh my God. What?
Okay, to all our friends who have said, please stop talking so much about specific trains, it's not relatable, this will be quick.
Who said that?
You know who you are. Catherine.
We're giving you intel so that the moment you step into the city, you know what to say to people who are here. Yeah. And then they're like, oh my God, do you live here? And then they'll be like, oh my God, do you want this gig?
Yeah,
so
you must live
you're
here.
Welcome.
Yeah, we just got you 10 gigs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the word is...
What?
The new G train is just one long tube.
Yeah, this is not new.
Okay.
It's been one giant tube for a couple of months.
Stop acting like you knew for years it's been a tube.
I have ridden the tube train.
Oh, no way. I didn't realize the tube was up and running. Okay, but here's the problem.
Okay, talk about the tube.
I'm sorry, it'll be quick.
Yeah.
When it's not a tube, sometimes you get on a car and you see someone's flaps. Right away you see flaps. So then you just go to the next tube. But then if it's one tube, every part of the train is flap time.
Yeah, it's like energetically the flaps are everywhere.
Exactly.
You can't close the door on the flaps.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I like the tube because I like riding in between the cars where it's like shaking around like a little bit like intestines or whatever. It's cleaner. And there's more tech on the train, so it looks fancier. But the energy of escaping something, you can't do that anymore.
It's all one thing together.
It's all one thing.
Okay. A few more things about moving.
Yeah.
We had the pleasure of coming up with a few new characters as you were moving.
I mean, yeah, thank you so much for saving us. You helped tremendously.
You're welcome. And just to, give a little dose of reality, I packed up maybe 10 boxes.
You packed up about 10 boxes. So... So basically, we got man with a van, and you have to do an estimate or whatever. They ask you how many things, and I said about 10 boxes and 10 bags.
She said 10 boxes.
About 10 boxes and 10 bags. And then
it should be like 10 boxes. You look around your apartment, you look at your stuff, you go, it's just like 10 boxes.
I looked at my partner and I said, I only have about 10 boxes. 10 bags.
You open your closet, you see all your clothes. It's just like 10 bags.
Do you know how many boxes and bags I had combined?
How many?
92.
It's just like 10 boxes.
92 boxes.
It's just like 10 bags.
92.
your fiance said that they were going to show up with a Camry. That could be like $10.
Yeah, he was like, don't say $10. They're going to show up with a Prius to move your stuff.
It's like $10 for the car.
Yeah, for the car.
It's just for the Prius.
Well, joke's on me. I don't even have my stuff anymore anyway.
That's $10.
$10 is nothing. 10 empty boxes of stuff.
It's just $10 in the bag.
That really helped us a lot. You have to, when you're moving, you have to come up with characters. You have to come up with games.
Oh, we did another character? Because all your future children are going to be named for fonts.
Yeah. We're going to use the fonts as inspiration. Yeah.
So obviously your most beloved child will be called something classy.
A Helvetica Nueve.
Helvetica Nueve.
A Ryle New.
Ryle New.
Ariel New.
The black sheep of the family will be Wingdings.
Wingdings. Wingdings and Papyrus.
Those two MFers.
Yeah, Wingdings is going to be there.
Those two little hellraisers.
Good old Wingdings over here. Can't even
Wingdings.
tell left from right.
Helvetica what?
Helvetica, can you just help Wingdings tie his shoes, please? Please.
Helvetica, can you just go get Wingdings? He got stuck in the corner.
Wingdings, are you stuck in the sewer grate again? Get out of the sewer grate. This is why we can't give you an iPad.
Dude, Wingdings. He loves iPads. He's a total iPad kid.
Wingdings. Wingdings is cross-eyed.
He has huge glasses.
Wingdings has to wear a diaper.
Wingdings has to wear a diaper for so long. And he's like a menace.
Wingdings is a criminal diaper wearer.
Yeah, you take him to your rich friend's house, he immediately breaks their most prized possession.
Wingdings is 35 and has blowouts.
Wingdings does something I literally did when I was a kid, which is draws with Sharpie on your friend's Steinway.
Wingdings.
Wingdings.
Wingdings. I'm Wingdings. I like to wear diapers. I do blowouts in the kitchen. I like the high chair because I'm Wingdings. Yeah. So you have to, when you're moving, you have to make characters. You have to make games out of like the things you're packing that you haven't seen in years.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to just start throwing stuff away indiscriminately.
Yeah, but I can't do Marie Kondo stuff. Marie Kondo stuff takes too much energy. You have to sit there and look at the thing. You have to hold it. No, you can't do that Marie Kondo stuff. You have to just be throwing things around.
Yeah. Okay, so we both live in neighborhoods now that are a little bit different than our personalities.
Absolutely.
And, we're just the oddballs of the town.
It's high summer, and we're oddballs. We're sweating here.
In the
we're
neighborhoods.
talking about our gigs. And, if you guys choose to move to New York City as musicians, you need to know a couple of things. There's a little thing or two that you must know.
Yeah, we're going to pivot now to giving some real advice. This is the Dear Abby section, okay? So get your notepads out, get your little pencils out, be ready to absorb the nutrients which we will now spray in your direction.
There's a little concept that we like to sort of
flesh out. And we finally were able to define it. We were able to really manosphere it. In previous episodes, we have, poo-pooed the concept of music schools, conservatory type education because of the over-reliance on technical perfection. This is a sharp pivot.
Yeah.
We're veering into technical perfection now.
You must know this technique.
This is a little technique that you must know if you want to be successful. And it's called the New York Forte.
That's right. That is one of two dynamics that are played in this city.
There are two. Every city has a dynamic.
Yeah.
And to be successful, you must quickly acquire it and master it.
The faster, the better.
And playing fast is part of the New York Forte, yes. For it's not simply a decibel level.
Yeah. Close your eyes. Imagine scrubbing. Imagine high things, like really high frequencies crashing in. Imagine people sort of stacking up on top of one another.
Yes, stacking is good because there is no blend.
No blend.
There is simply blast.
No blend, simply blast.
Blast.
Just sound.
Yes, blast, not blend.
Sound, sound, sound. Noise even.
Big
the
noise.
noisier, the better.
That's the New York Forte.
New York Forte, play as loud as possible. And if you can play as fast as possible at the same time, you got all the gigs.
Pay no mind to how the people around you are playing.
No.
Certainly not their tempo.
No.
Just play as fast as you can.
Yes.
And expect them to catch up and to never catch you because you will be playing faster and faster and faster.
Exactly. And louder and louder and louder. Sooner or later, you're in this vortex of your own self.
Yes.
And everyone's just they just have to move aside or they get swept up in your fury.
Yes.
And that is the cause and effect of the New York Forte.
New York Forte is about establishing dominance immediately.
Yes.
If you are listening, you're doing it wrong.
Listening? Who? To what?
You may listen to one thing, and that is the sound that is penetrating your eardrums of your own instrument.
Yeah. You're listening, and what you may hear outside of yourself are gasps from others responding to your brilliance and your sheer force.
Yes. As they try and fail to match your own level.
If you cannot reach New York Forte levels, think again.
Yes.
Keep that 1 foot in the door.
Yes.
Keep the other foot out.
Yes. And New York Forte is an interesting concept because there are two sides to this coin.
Yes.
And that is when you perform in well-to-do environments, perhaps a Lincoln Center type, buttoned up classical repertoire.
Yes.
Chamber music, Mozart,
Musique
festival.
du chambre, as we like to say it.
Music chambre.
Yeah.
Mostly Mozart.
Mostly Mozart. Never other stuff.
Never.
Mostly Mozart. Never Chappelle Rowan. You wouldn't be playing Chappelle Rowan.
Chappelle Rowan is for New York Forte. Mostly Mozart is for barely audible.
Yeah.
If you you will have been loaned a very fine instrument.
Of the Stradivarius quality.
Dels Jesus.
The Gel Jesu. The
It's
Guarneri.
on loan. Bragonzis.
The Grancinos. Am I right?
This one, it's on loan, but don't you hate it? I hate it.
I wish I had a Forester. I like the English variety.
Oh, have you played on their Picard? I love their Picard.
God. Oh my God. I've got a little, what is it? How do you say it? A bazan.
A bazan.
A bazan.
Oh, yes.
Picard bazan.
I only
Tomato.
I only play on my tort when I'm playing Debussy.
A tort. I had a tort in middle school. So there's New York Forte. There's Lincoln Center.
That means regardless of this fine piece of art which you've been loaned by a private investor,
Yes.
you play as quiet as you possibly can.
Barely audible.
And when someone says, I'm sorry, do you mind playing out here a bit? You say, I'm a very sensitive player.
Yes.
This is sensitive.
The only way you can be heard is to be amplified.
Yes. play in people's homes or perhaps in environments that are acoustically modified for gut strings, and I must play as quietly as I can.
Yes, you can see me next time in the church basement's basement.
New York Forte is for poor losers
Yes.
and Broadway musicians.
Yes, New York Forte is for Broadway. No way will you see me in Broadway playing a New York Forte. Forget it.
You won't catch me going below 59th Street.
No, never. Never. Never.
Unless I'm going to one of the shops, of course.
Of course, if I'm going to the meat packing district and getting my meat packed by another beautiful man. Excuse me. That is what meat packing is for.
That is what it's for.
The gays took the name and made it gayer. Form over function. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. So, if you're going to move to New York, you have to learn New York Forte or Lincoln Center, right? There's no in between here.
It's very important that you're able to switch between the two.
Yeah.
And when you are playing New York Forte, you must look down on the Lincoln Center. What is a word for quiet that starts with L?
Lincoln Center. Lugubrious comes to mind, but that doesn't mean
Lincoln
quiet.
Center or starts with C.
Lincoln Center.
Lightly.
Light. Lincoln Center. Sensitivity.
Sensitivity.
Lincoln sense.
Lincoln Senster.
Lincoln sensitive.
It's a work in progress.
It's we're workshopping.
But you need to look down on the other.
Yeah.
To be fully embodying one of those polarities.
Exactly. Someone's looking down on you, give it right back. Look down on them. All right? Get lower and lower and lower. They aim low, you aim lower.
When they go low,
you go lower.
You go lower. Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it here.
So you're welcome for this masterclass.
Yeah. I mean, this was $100 for what we just did.
Minimum.
Per person?
Minimum.
Are you kidding me?
You pay for some Lincoln Center person to give you a master class like this one?
Forget it.
You pay them $250 minimum.
They tell you what? Oh, how to play Beethoven? Give me a fucking break.
Be sensitive. Be more sensitive here.
Yeah, be more sensitive.
You take a master class with some pop musician, what are they going to tell you? Be louder.
Be louder. I can't hear
louder.
you over here.
Okay, so that's technique time.
Exactly.
It's a new segment. I honestly don't know if we're going to remember to do it next time.
It's technique time.
Yeah, but enjoy it while you have it because it's technique time. We might do it again. I can imagine so many topics.
Yeah.
Improvising.
Yeah.
You know.
How to improvise.
Yeah, how to improvise. That'll be for next time.
That's going to be for next time.
It's a teaser.
It's a teaser. That's an easy one. If you can't get this one, you'll get the next one.
Yeah.
Improv, easy.
Yeah.
Just play notes. Okay?
Honestly, pick a note.
Play it. Play it.
If you don't like how it sounds, move on.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah,
Find a new
wah,
note.
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If someone starts saying music theory at you, just nod. Just pretend like
just
you
say,
know.
yeah, duh, I know.
Duh.
I play notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music theory?
And
What are
then
you?
act like you're about to say something about theory, but then sort of step back and let someone else say something else.
Here's what I like to do. I like to put my finger right at my mouth like this, like, and go, I like to sort of ball up my hand like I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But really what I'm doing is smelling my knuckle.
I like to pick up my pencil like I'm about to write something and poise it, hold it over the page, even if it's an iPad.
Yeah.
And, I like to sort of act,
practicing your chopsticks technique.
Yeah, I like to act kind of nonchalant so that people assume I'm kind of checked out because I already know what they're talking about,
Yeah, it's the same as when Robert De Niro, whenever he's trying to act serious, what he's really doing is first step, squint. Second step, think of a pizza order. That's what he does. There's another technique for you guys. That was at least $1,000.
At least.
Give me a fucking break. You guys want to
Minimum.
become actors? Lesson number 1. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been to some parties. Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me now.
So I went to a few parties.
She went to an exclusive party at a party at
Here's what I'll say.
Say
I'm not
it.
going to say anything negative about this party. But what I noticed at this party is
Say it now.
there were musicians from all the musicians there were from a specific scene. And when
It was the klezmer scene.
it was the klezmer scene.
It was the bat mitzvah scene.
When you get all of these bat mitzvah
Mitzvah.
vat
Bat
mitzvahs
mitzvah.
musicians in one place,
Yeah.
something happens. And
Whoa.
I've come up with a term for it.
Yeah.
If only I could. Oh, it's a physics term.
Sick.
It's called resonance catastrophe.
How much is that worth for our listeners?
That one you get for free.
Nice.
And please just like and subscribe and give us a great review on whatever platform you're on.
Yeah.
And take your friends' phones and subscribe to our podcasts
Yeah,
for them across all their podcasting apps.
Yep.
Do a review, a positive review only, please, on their phones. And that is the cost of this advice.
If it's negative, you must put your credit card information in it. Mm-hmm. And your zip code, area code.
Your social securities. So when, two or more are gathered, as they say,
Yes.
and they are from the same scene,
Yeah.
we get a resonance catastrophe.
Ooh, resonance catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
Whoa.
So, parties happening.
Yeah.
Critical mass, all jazz musicians, you got a catastrophe.
It's too many.
You get another party happening, it's all orchestral musicians, catastrophe.
Bad.
Resonance catastrophe.
Oof.
You get, you get all singers in one room. That is a resonance catastrophe.
Yeah, it gets louder and louder and louder. New York Forte has reached
Yes.
catastrophic levels
Yes.
where things might start shaking.
Yes.
The ground might start unearthing.
Yes. It's even good if you're putting a gig together,
Yeah.
to draw from different scenes,
Absolutely.
because you got to avoid this resonance catastrophe.
Does it feel impending right when you step in?
It feels like, the foundation is not steady,
Yeah.
because it's like if you're building a house and you got all the materials lumped into one side.
Yeah. It's like you got a bunch of doctors, like right tit doctors. But left tit doctors, where are they?
That is
What's going to happen with
exactly
the
right.
left tit?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's going to wither away and you just have one giant right tit.
If you're going to have a right tit doctor in the room, you better have a left lung doctor in the room as well.
Yeah.
And a podiatrist that ideally specializes in both.
Yeah. Exactly. What are you going to do? Someone's having a heart attack, but all we have is hairdressers. What are they going to fucking do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They're going to just cut your hair
Exactly.
and be like, this hair's kind of...
Yeah, you get all these right tit doctors in the same room. You're going to fall over to the right side. You're going to fall down.
I thought the Jennifer Aniston 90s cut was going to save his life.
Exactly.
No, he died.
Yeah. So that's just a PSA. Honestly, a lot of good advice in this.
Really
This
good.
is, as many people have said,
Yeah.
the Andrew Huberman of gigging musician podcasts.
Absolutely. We are doing one of a kind work here. And actually, I just remembered something that we were going to do, but we are in limbo right now considering our circumstances where we cannot be doing that right now. But when
Yes.
we do it, it's going to be the first of its kind.
When we do
really,
it.
truly. Even though what we're doing right now is the first of its kind, what we're going to do later is going to be even more first of its kind. What
Two
is-
firsts.
Like, imagine.
And two kinds
yeah.
as well.
Oh, Would you rather be, here's a would you rather. Would you rather be the hottest person in the world or the funniest person in the world?
Am I funny? Would you rather is all about the follow-ups.
Okay, fine. What's your follow-up?
Am I funny in a way that makes people attracted to me? Do I have a lot of charisma? Or am I just like a big clown, but kind of asexual?
Okay. Maybe this will be better if I do people. Okay. Would you rather be Giselle Bundchen or
Robin Williams?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. But
Robin
Williams still alive.
Yeah, no tragedy, Robin
No tragedy,
Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Absolutely. Same.
Plus, I saw Giselle Bundchen at a gig one time, and she was much shorter than I expected.
So they always photograph her from like below a little bit.
Yes, she's only photographed by ants.
Shit. Mm-hmm. But she's 5'11". That's like really tall.
I must have seen her next to some tall, person, or maybe I was down below, or maybe I was having an especially...
Maybe you were on the ground. Maybe she was walking on you. And you were playing like lying down.
No, because then she would seem really, really tall.
Yeah.
So maybe I was like in a hot air balloon.
Oh, you were in a hot air balloon. Yes. You were on stilts.
Oh, that's why she seemed
short. Yeah, you were doing your stilts gig.
I was doing hot air balloon stilts gig.
Dude.
I was like, she doesn't seem that tall.
Yeah. What's up with this dumb bitch? Everyone's like, she's so tall and hot.
She doesn't even look like Giselle. She just looks like a little dot.
She's a little stupid dot that has a Brazilian voice.
Yeah.
Hot? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah, just don't want to. Give me a break. I can do that.
Totally.
Watch me do that. Give me some hair dye. I got stilts. I can be tall. Give me a break.
I can be tall.
Wingdings. Get over here.
Oh, I just thought of a new topic.
Let me make sure the video's going.
Okay. Let me check my phone. Okay, this is now a topic where we will ask the audience for advice.
Say it.
It's difficult to do in this particular medium where we are not streaming and we do not have a streaming chat.
Yeah, really good though.
Any type of live audience, but we'll just imagine their response.
I like where you're going.
This is a gig-related question. For all you non-musicians out there, there is a phenomenon where you may occasionally be asked to go on a tour.
Oh, a tour?
Oh
my God, are you going on tour?
I'm going on tour.
Oh my God.
I went on tour.
Say no more.
I'm going on tour.
We're going to tour as a...
It's a bus tour. I just went on a bus tour.
You're going to poop on a bus?
No. This is thank you so much for the segue. Because the issue that I am mulling over, as it were, is I have been asked for a bus tour.
Oh.
However, for all those unfamiliar, a bus tour is a tour where you play a show and then you go to a big bus and you sleep on it while some presumably gentleman drives you to a new city. And when you awake in the morning, you may not have arrived yet. You are sitting on the bus. You are doing your morning wake-up items. And there's one thing you cannot do. Well, not to disclose too much, but
Don't brag.
Not to brag. Not to brag. It is one of the first things I do within 5 to 10 minutes of waking up.
That's a brag. That's major brag.
Well, no, I'm sure other people experience this as well.
Okay.
And if it does not occur within 5 to 10 minutes of waking up, should I simply smell a single coffee bean, it will then occur.
Huge brag. There's another brag.
It occurs with great urgency. It occurs over and over. It occurs sometimes 3 times.
Whoa.
and it cannot occur on a bus tour.
Whoa.
What am I to do?
Diaper?
This is third way thinking.
Whoa.
I was simply preoccupied with yes or no.
Whoa.
You are doing what you always do, which is offer a third way.
Oh, yeah.
Diaper, colostomy bag.
Immediately.
No eating. Eating only cheese.
Dude, you know what you just did?
Huh.
You figured out my personality.
Colostomy bag. And eating only cheese.
Immediately when someone has an issue, I come up with solutions.
Yes.
I have a solution-based personality.
Yes.
If the person who I am talking to, I respect.
That's true. You offer solutions.
Yes. If I don't care, I go, shut up.
Yeah. If you don't care, you go, I don't know.
Yeah, I go, oh, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I have to go over here now.
You go, huh? Okay, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I just asked you a question. Sure, yeah, sure. Sure, whatever. That's not it was a yes or no question. Yeah, sure.
Really good. So, audience, what should Bia do? What should Caroline do?
Should I take the bus tour? And suffer the consequences of being, backlogged for
Diaper
3 weeks?
Diaper
Ridden and or backlogged? Or do I diaper up?
Yeah.
Feels obvious. I must don the diaper.
You must be the dawn of the diaper. It is the dawn of your diaper.
The diaper hath dawned.
Did you ever think in your advanced age that you would be returning to the diaper?
From the diaper we emerge, from the diaper we return.
That's
to the
absolutely.
diaper.
I was just thinking that. I was like looking at these old people and I was like, dude, you look exactly like men just start looking like women. Women start looking like men.
Yeah.
Like babies all kind of look the same. Like
Yeah. Soft. Everyone gets soft.
everyone gets soft and like mushy, but then also like lots of skin and like powdery.
Yeah, and babies have very few bones and old people have very few bones.
Yeah.
There's like their elbows haven't really solidified yet, so you can kind of roll them up into a ball and roll them down a hallway.
Yeah.
Old and young.
Yeah, old and young. I mean, I think for the gig stories, take it. For the experience par excellence with your diaperance, use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I will close with this story.
Oh, what type of story?
It's a ghost of gags past. It is a vintage gag passed down from generation to generation.
That's my favorite kind.
This is a New York gig. Gag for most involved. Gag for everyone, actually. Here's what happened. Picture this. The late 80s. You are a bassist. You get called via telephone. Okay, old school. You have a landline.
Do you ever think about that? How when you used to gig, you had to talk on the phone constantly?
Always.
People calling for gigs?
You have to get the details. I would hate that. Or you have an agent who does it for you. Those privileged few. Anyway, you're a bassist. You just finished playing over blues. It's hot. It's summertime. You're singing a song to yourself about how hot you are and how you wish you could communicate faster. And yet somebody gives you a call on that phone. Ring-a-ding-ding. Ooh, who is that? You pick up the phone. Sweat drips down your brow and drims down the brow and into the receiver. Someone goes, hello. You go, yes. Is this Norman? Why, yes, this is Norman. Norman the bassist. Correct. Norman the bassist, I've got a gig for you, but you've got to trek all the way downtown. You're at 193rd and Broadway. Shit. Downtown? How far? Below 95th? Way below 95th. You're going to West 4th. West 4th. By chance, is this Smalls Club? Why, yes. You have been called for your first gig at Smalls Club.
Smalls Club.
In your mind, you're like, Eureka! This is my big break.
I can't wait to play at Smalls Club.
Yeah. You go, what time?
The late set.
The late set.
At Smalls Club.
But the early late, so you have to be there ASAP.
Get there now, Norman.
Get there now, bassist Norman. Disembodied voice man, thank you so much. You get your ass down. You wear your finest, but not too fine. You don't want to seem desperate. You go down. First on the one, then you have to make a transfer because the one... because the one stops working. Somebody jumped in front of the tracks. Perhaps another desperate bassist. You transfer at the transfer point, which 2-3. Then the 2-3 goes local, and then you're like, "Fuck, I'm almost late."
So you run over to Port Authority under the tunnel. You get on the AC,
and the AC stops running, and you're like, "Shit!" Then you have to hail a giant cab. You use your last 2 pence to pay for this cab. You can't even tip the cabbie. Miraculously, you make it on time to the Smalls Club. You look around and you see, wait a second, why are all these basses coming out of this, are all here on this street corner?
They're all climbing out of the giant cab.
You start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're one of 82 bassists in front of the Smalls Club. You're like, what the hell is going on? How are we all going to fit in this club? You go to the front of the line. The guy goes, hey, you two, Tommy, two time bassist, 82 of yous. Why are you guys all here? 82. I've never seen as many bases in my life. What is this, the Noah's Ark of bass? What is... He goes, I was called by an anonymous man about this gig. I was going to pay $75. The bouncer goes, what are you, an idiot? No one called you for a gig. No one knows who you are, you fucking loser. So... 82 basses show up to the Smalls Club in the late 80s, called by disembodied voice as a prank. And this is a true story.
To summarize this vivid story is that in the 80s, we have been informed.
Yes.
In the 80s, someone pranked 82 bassists and told them there was a gig at the Smalls Club. And all 82 of them showed up for their gig.
Yeah.
And then they're just standing around with their huge instruments.
On the corner, waiting outside.
Couldn't fit inside the club.
Couldn't fit.
Pranking bassists is so funny.
Yeah.
Calling every bassist, like...
They know.
Going through the trouble of getting... the name of 82 bassists.
Can you believe that there are 82 bassists in the city?
Some of them must have been students. Some of them must have been amateurs.
Yeah.
Certainly there's not 82.
There can't be.
And then, like, after they all just figured out that they can't fit in the Smalls Club, they're like, okay, I guess I'm just going to go home, man.
Yeah, they got pranked by this guy. And they found out who the guy was, and some of the 82 bassists got together and sued him. And he got sued.
That is...
These bassists had truly nothing going on. They could full on...
That is crazy.
Like, what do you call it?
If someone just pranks you, don't be litigious.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a bassist.
Yeah.
Like your life is a prank.
Totally. Like,
don't be suing people because you got called for a gig. You don't want to be... Just say, you know what you say? Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks for this experience.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it down to my family.
Mm-hmm. And...
Of bassists who are around me.
Do you think back in that day there were any women bassists?
Couple. At least.
Yeah.
I'd say 5% of those 82 bassists were women.
Would you rather be a lady bassist or a lady tuba player?
Bassist, for sure.
Would you rather be a lady tuba player or a lady percussionist?
Oh, percussionist, for sure. Because you can hit stuff.
Okay.
Like, and undoubtedly I would have some anger inside. Hitting stuff would be a really good, nice little, remedy.
Would you rather be lady trombone or lady tuba?
Girl, I have seen some of these lady trombonists. So, lady trombone. You get to get that slide.
Last one.
Slide trombone.
Would you rather be lady conductor or lady tuba?
Lady conductor.
Nice.
I would always wear tails.
Yeah.
To keep that air of mystery of like, what do my cheeks look like in those pants?
Air of mystery.
Yeah.
That is one of your favorite forms of pants is mystery cheeks pants.
Mystery cheeks. I would always wear tails. And not necessarily would I wear anything covering my fronts. So I might have my front flaps out.
Midriff out.
Midriff out.
You would wear tails on performance day, but also you'd have athleisure tails for rehearsal day.
Totally.
And if, members of the orchestra came over to your house for tea.
Yeah.
Or some other type of social engagement.
Yeah.
You would have casual tails.
I'd have casual tails.
Denim tails.
Denim tails.
Denim tails.
I would have a Canadian tails tuxedo. I would have all denim tuxedo tails.
Yeah, you'd have sequin tails.
Sequin tails.
You'd have like walking the dog tails.
Leather tails for all of my engagements in Germany because you know how crazy they are with the weird dominatrix attire.
They love that stuff. They love leather.
They love that stuff.
Yeah. Kimono tails.
Kimono tails for my trips out east. I'd have burlap tails for all of my trips to the zoo. I'd have ice tails made out of ice.
Animal skin tails for when you go to indigenous populations.
I'd have my safari tails for all of my trips down under.
Down under.
That's it. That's all I can think. Shells tails for where I'm playing at
Beachy spots. Swim tails.
Swims tails for when I'm doing a concert for mermaids and manatees, which are arguably the same. We can argue that because I've gotten a little too comfy with a manatee or two. And when you squeeze, some certain parts of those manatees feel like human parts.
That is one of the riskier things about squeezing.
Yeah. Well, this was a delightful little episode.
Yeah, we did a good job.
We did amazing. You did so good. And I can't wait for everyone to hear how amazing you did.
I can't wait. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was great playing with you.
It was great playing with you.
It was great playing with you.
It was great
playing with you.